trying to be a gentleman. Come on, Grace. I'm trying to be a gentleman. Over in the goat barn, it's going to be first call. Class 1 Angoras. First call, Class 1 Angoras. If you'll work your way up to the staging area, please, we would appreciate it.
Adams Fab. Established in 2007, they build custom livestock pinning and equipment to fit all your needs. Hanger feeder rods, adjustable slam gate latches, and skirted panels, it all comes standard. Custom pins made by hand and hot dipped galvanized so that you know that they're going to last. Adams Fab is a certified TIPS vendor and can design, fabricate, and install equipment to fit all your needs. Visit adamsfablivestock.com to get started today.
Good morning, and once again over in the GOAT Arena, we are judging our first class of Buck Kids. Buck Kids in the ring at this time. I think there's 11 entries, and we're going to be 4 places in this class. Our judge today, Mr. Eric Zimmerman. Eric is the District Extension Administrator for the Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Service in College Station. He has served as a county extension agent in Tom Green, Llano, Grimes, and Brazos counties. He's a native of Menard, Texas, received his bachelor's and master's from Texas A&M Department of Rangeland Ecology and Management. He's judged over 400 lamb and goat shows throughout the United States. He's married to his wife, Stephanie. They have twin sons, Jackson and Ramsey. They exhibited lambs and goats during their 4-H career. They're currently both in grad school at Texas A&M. Let's give Mr. Eric Zimmerman a welcome to San Antonio Livestock Show. Thank y'all.
Certainly a pleasure to be here today. A really outstanding set, Buck kids here. you know, Knowing that it was going to be high quality, coming in, and it does disappoint at one aspect or another. And I say that because there's a high set of quality individuals even on down the line here in terms of fleece quality, staple length, density, certainly structure as well. The young lady's one that wins the class. Certainly in my mind, he's built right, he's stout. Certainly one that's just exceptional in terms of his body design. He's opened up when you talk about how he travels, and then you get into his fleece. Exceptional in terms of density, just handles extremely soft and supple. He's extreme in terms of his staple length. Again, one that's uniform in terms of that fleece. Really high quality individual. Maybe change him in terms of his head and horns just a bit, but certainly one in terms of fleece quality, body, and style. I like him a lot. Young lady, you got a good one in second. He may give up a little length of body, he may give up a little size, and maybe overall structure, but certainly one in terms of head shapes exceptionally well. One that to me, when you talk about his fleece as well, exceptional in terms of fineness of fleece, exceptional in terms of density as well. Maybe not quite as long in terms of staple length consistently through that body as what we see in our class winner, but one, again, as he travels, he's stout, he's built right, and he's got a really high-quality fleece. A super soft handling goat in the third place, one that's just given up a little bit of dimension, just a little bit of size and length of body. One that you talk about him, maybe not quite as dense in terms of overall fleece as what we see in first and second, but exceptionally soft and supple to the handle, very uniform in terms of his fineness as well. Maybe just, again, as I said, just a little bit more density of fleece, and I think we move him up a little bit higher. Obviously, a little bit smaller frame, kind of goat in the fourth place hole. One that probably is the shortest staple length of what we see in the top three. He's certainly not near as dense in terms of overall fleece on his body. Maybe needs to be opened up a bit more, but in terms of this uniformity, an extremely nice male here as well. A nice set here, really nice duo up in the top end. Congratulations to all these exhibitors. Good job.
Thank you for those comments on our class of Buck kids. Placings in fourth place, Kelby Blessing, a Sutton County 4-H member. Our third place finisher is Carlin Patterson, a Burnett FFA member. Second place goes to Sadie Ayala, Uvalde County 4-H member. And our class winner coming to us from the Real County 4-H program, Rylan Ward. We'll give y'all the second to get those back to the pen. If you have a yearling buck, please work your way up at this time.
Every detail matters when preparing your livestock for the show ring. At Producers Co-op, we offer high-quality show feed, supplements, and supplies designed for your animal's best performance. Our specialized feeds promote optimal growth, conditioning, and muscle development for cattle, sheep, goats, pigs, and more. With expert advice and reliable products, we're dedicated to your success. Trust us to help you reach your goals with the feed that works as hard as you do. Come see why at Producers Co-op, it's better here.
Now entering the ring are two-tooth or yearling buck kids on the Angora side. Ten entries in the class, still placing 4. 10 entries in the class, 4 official places.
Well, really another stouts class here in this two-tooth. These goats, especially you talk about the top four, they're built right. They're good and they're stout. They're opened up. They've got some body and dimension. They've got some hip. They've got some extension, and really combine all those things in those aspects into a high-quality animal. Then you get into the fleeces, and you talk about the young man or young ladies buck here. Man, I tell you, soft, supple, just so uniform, just exceptional in terms of length of staple. Certainly one that's got some density to him, extremely fine, and we see that in all of these goats here. But I think this is the most consistent one from front to back, exceptional in terms of body design. You combine that with a really outstanding fleece and head, a really nice individual to win the class. Another one that's extremely nice in the second place hold, maybe not quite as uniform in terms of overall fleece, but certainly one that's got an exceptional staple length. He's good in terms of his density as well. Maybe a little flatter made in his overall body, but certainly one that like him in all those aspects. I just wish him just a bit more consistent in his uniformity relative to our class winner. Another good, nice one here in the third place hole. Maybe just a notch smaller in his overall frame. Like to change maybe his horns just a bit, and that gets to get real critical. But certainly one is a high quality fleece as well. I don't think this goes quite as dense. Maybe not quite as nice in his overall fleece. And that's getting real critical because this is a really good one in his own aspect as well. And then we round out the class probably with the shorter staple fleece of the class. Certainly one that's not quite as dense in terms of his overall fleece. Again, maybe not one that's quite nicely in terms of his overall body design and his structure as he travels away from you, but certainly a really high quality individual in his own right as well. Really nice one in the fifth place hole. Again, one that to me just a little bit different in his overall build, but certainly in terms of density of fleece, in terms of fineness of fleece, in terms of staple length, he fits the bill quite well. Wish he traveled just a little bit better. Nice set here. Congratulations, young people.
Placings on our two-tooth class, our fourth place finisher from the Real County 4-H Club, Ryland Ward. In second and third from Sutton County 4-H, Kelby Blessing. She had both of those goats. And our class winner from the Burnett County 4-H program, Bridget Wilde. We'll give them an opportunity to get back, put those guys up, and grab their aged bucks and work their way back up. Then we will bring our first and second places back, and we'll select, after the aged, we'll select our overall champion buck of the show.
Adams Fab. Established in 2007, they build custom livestock pinning and equipment to fit all your needs. Hanger feeder rods, adjustable slam gate latches, and skirted panels. It all comes standard. Custom pins made by hand and hot dipped galvanized so that you know that they're going to last. Adams Fab is a certified TIPS vendor and can design, fabricate, and install equipment to fit all your needs. Visit adamsfablivestock.com to get started today.
Over in the Angora ring, we've got our aged bucks coming in at this time. Aged bucks. Eight entries, placing 3. 8 entries, we will place 3.
What a really nice set here again. Really high quality goats, really built right again. You talk about the one that wins this class. Again, one that's just so stout made. He's so elevated up through his front end. You get into his fleece and you take a look at him, his body from a distance. He's just balanced up. He's opened up. He's got a high quality build to him. Again, as I said, you get into his fleece, extremely nice and supple. Boy, it's a soft handling fleece, one that's extremely uniform in my opinion, all the way from his front to his back. Extremely dense in terms of fleece quality as well, exceptional in terms of his staple length. When you talk about this goat, though, in terms of his fineness relative to his uniformity, he excels the class and a really nice goat, and I like him to win the class. You get into the next couple here, and I was kind of going back and forth because we've got one in the second place hole. He's given up a little bit of frame size relative to our third place goat, but he's built right. One, again, stout from the ground up, good in terms of his rib, great as he travels about the arena. One that you really take a look at in terms of his uniformity of fleece, just a little bit better. He's just a little bit higher quality fleece in terms of its fineness relative to their third place goat. To me, one that's just a little bit more uniform. Certainly like to give him just a bit more body, but a really nice goat in that second place hole. Again, another stout one in that third place hole. One that to me, maybe not quite as uniform in fleece length or in fleece uniformity, not near as dense in terms of overall fleece, but certainly soft to the handle, really nice to the touch. Got some fineness to him as well. Where I really like him is his body and his length of body, his frame, and certainly his rib. A nice high quality trio here. Congratulations to these young ladies and the remainder of the class as well. Good job.
Every detail matters when preparing your livestock for the show ring. At Producers Co-op, we offer high-quality show feed, supplements, and supplies designed for your animal's best performance. Our specialized feeds promote optimal growth, conditioning, and muscle development for cattle, sheep, goats, pigs, and more. With expert advice and reliable products, we're dedicated to your success. Trust us to help you reach your goals with the feed that works as hard as you do. Come see why at Producers Co-op, it's better here.
4-H Club, Sydney Peterson. We'll bring our 3 class winners back in at this time and our 3 second place animals back in for the selection of our overall champion, Buck. From our kid class, our first place winner was Rylan Ward, the Real County 4-H member, and our second place was Sadie Ayala. She's from Uvalde County. In our two-tooth class, our class winner was Bridget Wilde, a Burnett County 4-H member, and Kelby Blessing was our second place finisher, Sutton County 4-H.
These guys are good. I'm telling you, it's a challenge because there's lots of good things about all 6 of these goats out here. You talk about frame size, you talk about build and dimension, you talk about structure and how they move about the arena. Obviously, those 6, in my opinion, excelled the classes that they won. You talk about the ones that moved up into the front line, and they combine that with elevation, extension, great in terms of their body and their hip. Again, ones that are extremely high quality in terms of their fleece, in terms of staple length, in terms of fineness and uniformity, and supple, soft fleeces, really nice quality relative to their frame size in terms of pounds of clean wool or clean mohair that they'll shear off and produce with, a breeding program. It gets down to, for me, one that's just so good in terms of his fleece, and he combines that with an exceptional body as well. This dude is just good in terms of his length, his fineness, his freshness, and really staple length and uniformity. Again, one that to me in the reserve role is good in his own right. Maybe not quite as cool to look at, and I say that because, we talk about that in the market animal divisions and all that. These, again, they're in the production systems, but they still got to be built right, and they've got to look right, and they've got to produce really good offspring. And I think this one is exceptional in terms of his overall fleece as well. It gets really, really close, splitting the hairs here. I think the one that's just the most complete relative to frame and fleece is going to be your champion young lady out of the first class in the kid division. Congratulations to her. The two-tooth is a reserve champion. Congratulations to her as well. Good job.
Our champion comes out of our kid class. That's Ryland Ward, Riel County 4-H member. Our reserve is going to come out of the yearling class, the two-tooth, Bridget Wilde, Burnett County 4-H. They receive a banner and a buckle.
Adams Fab. Established in 2007, they build custom livestock pinning and equipment to fit all your needs. Hanger feeder rods, adjustable slam gate latches, and skirted panels. It all comes standard. Custom pins made by hand and hot dipped galvanized so that you know that they're going to last. Adams Fab is a certified TIPS vendor and can design, fabricate, and install equipment to fit all your needs. Visit adamsfablivestock.com to get started today.
On the female grand and reserve, so have those ready, please.
Adams Fab. Established in 2007, they build custom livestock penning and equipment to fit all your needs. Hanger feeder rods, adjustable slam gate latches, and skirted panels, it all comes standard. Custom pins made by hand and hot dipped galvanized so that you know that they're going to last. Adams Fab is a certified TIPS vendor and can design, fabricate, and install equipment to fit all your needs. Visit adamsfablivestock.com to get started today.
Every detail matters when preparing your livestock for the show ring. At Producers Co-op, we offer high-quality show feed, supplements, and supplies designed for your animal's best performance. Our specialized feeds promote optimal growth, conditioning, and muscle development for cattle, sheep, goats, pigs, and more. With expert advice and reliable products, we're dedicated to your success. Trust us to help you reach your goals with the feed that works as hard as you do. Come see why at Producers Co-op, it's better here.
Over here in the Angora arena, 15 entries in the Go Kid class will be 5 official placings, 5 official placings.
took a bit, and only on 15 goats, but I'm telling you right now, when you talk about 1 all the way to 15, these are good ones. Their fleece is extremely high quality all the way down the line, so fine, really just great to the touch and handle. All of these goats are built right. We've moved them about the arena just to check and see how they traveled. There's not a whole one in them. I did San Angelo a number of years ago, and we'd get into those goats, and you get them on the move, and a lot of them weren't near as good on their hind legs as what they need to be relative to the high quality of their fleece. All 15 of these goats travel extremely well. Maybe they're not quite opened up as much as what we see up in the top end relative to down the line, but in terms of the way they travel and their athleticism, certainly really high quality. This is a nice set of goats here. They're built right. Again, the young lady's goat here, she's stout made, she's feminine, she's extended, she's good in terms of her ribs, she's good in terms of her design, good in terms of her hip relative to the way she moves about the arena. You get into her fleece. Is she the finest fleece goat in the class? Certainly not. But she's fine enough. She's uniform extremely well. One that's just exceptional in terms of her density and her staple length. One that to me just handles so good, travels well, built right, and really a nice female heel to win the class. This second place goat, super, super fine. I tell you, man, it just touches and the texture and tone of that fleece is exceptional. Not quite as dense as what we see in our class winner. Certainly maybe giving up a little bit of fleece, staple length, but certainly one, again, you talk about this female, she's built right, she's dimensional, she's good on her feet and legs. Maybe not quite as feminine up through her front as what we see in our class winner, just a notch shorter from flank to flank, but one in terms of high quality fleece, she's exceptional in those aspects. It's a really dense fleece here in this female in third. To me, one that's the longest bodied. She's the biggest frame, in my opinion, of our top 5 here, and so we have to really, highlight that aspect. I don't think she travels quite as well. She's not built quite as well as what we see in first and second, but in terms of length of body and extension of femininity and rib, to me, and to combine that with her fleece density, a really, really nice female in that third place hole. Shorter made kind of goat in the fourth place hole, extremely athletic, one that just travels exceptionally well, exceptionally good on all 4 feet and legs. To me, again, giving up a little staple link when you can compare this goat to 1, 2, and 3. Again, in terms of fineness and uniformity, extremely well. We just need her in a little bit bigger package. And probably the shortest staple link goat to 5th place hole. Again, one, you can see how fine she is from her front all the way through her side. Again, one that to me just giving up a little frame size relative to the ones ahead of her, but certainly one in terms of athleticism, stoutness as well. She's a really high-quality female. This is a really competitive class here. Congratulations to all 15 exhibitors because this is really deep. Good job.
Placing.
Every detail matters when preparing your livestock for the show ring. At Producers Co-op, we offer high-quality show feed, supplements, and supplies designed for your animal's best performance. Our specialized feeds promote optimal growth, conditioning, and muscle development for cattle, sheep, goats, pigs, and more. With expert advice and reliable products, we're dedicated to your success. Trust us to help you reach your goals with the feed that works as hard as you do. Come see why at Producers Co-op, it's better here.
Them to the staging area and getting things prepped and ready, waiting for the kids to take the other one back. Now entering the ring are the yearling does. The yearling does coming in. $16 records in this class, 16 entries. That again will be 5 official places.
It's another challenging class. The doe here to work her way up in the top is certainly not the biggest frame goat of our top three. She's big enough when you talk about the quality of fleece that she brings to the table. Exceptional in terms of touch. Boy, I tell you, she is so uniform and fine. It's exceptional in terms of her staple length. Just a great handling fleece. When you get this doe on the move, she's just so much better in my mind on her feet and legs. When you travel, she's just natural in her base width. Again, one that's got some femininity. She's got some rib shape. She's so uniform. She's so nice to look at. You put your hands into her. She's exceptional in her touch as well. I like her to win the class. Again, the challenge again was when you talk about second and third, these are really nice females in their own right. Maybe not quite as uniform and as fine as throughout as what we see in our class winner. Extremely dense fleece when our second place goat here. One that to me is exceptional in terms of her elevation, her length of body, and her size and scale. To me, again, I like her just a bit more uniform, just a little bit better handling fleece, a little harsher to the touch than what we see in our class winner, but certainly one that's exceptionally well. Maybe change her as she travels ever so slightly. One that didn't fit me quite as well in her overall builds in third. She's not quite as elevated length from long up through her front. She gets a little bit different in her overall design, but certainly one that's got a dense fleece as well. Very similar to our second place goat, just doesn't handle quite as well in terms of fleece touch. So to me, one maybe not quite as nice, as fine as what we see in our class winner as well, but a really nice one in her own right. Then we get into a couple goats here down the line. Just don't have quite the quality of fleece in terms of densities, what we see in the top four. Maybe not nice, quite as nice in terms of overall staple length, but again, they're built right, they're feminine, they're good in terms of their rib and their design. They just don't handle with quite as much product on the skeleton relative to fleece quality relative to the ones ahead of them. This is a really competitive class. Nice set of goats here. Let's give them a round of applause. Good job.
Adams Fab. Established in 2007, they build custom livestock pinning and equipment to fit all your needs. Hanger feeder rods, adjustable slam gate latches, and skirted panels, it all comes standard. Custom pins made by hand and hot dipped galvanized so that you know that they're going to last. Adams Fab is a certified TIPS vendor and can design, fabricate, and install equipment to fit all your needs. Visit adamsfablivestock.com to get started today.
The Burnett County 4-H, and our class winner, once again, Kelby Blessing, Sutton County 4-H member. We'll let them get those yearlings back. They'll loop around with their mature age does. We'll bring them in for our selection of placings of the aged, and then we'll line them up for the champion doe. Champion doe will get a $10,000 scholarship. If for some reason the youngster that wins that has already received the money, we will roll it down to the first available person. So we will be giving out a scholarship today, one way or the other.
For me, this one separates herself real early, and then it's kind of ones that okay, what are we going to do after that? And so you take a look at her build, body, femininity, rib, and then combining that with an excellent fleece. She's the most uniform. She's certainly extremely fine. One that's extreme in terms of her density. Again, one that's great in terms of her staple length. She travels with some athleticism. I really like her build. I like her design. I like her fleece. In my mind, she was the one that we elevate to the front real quickly, and then we find out what's going to follow her. Young lady's goat in second. Another very uniform goat, one that's built right as well. This is the one that maybe the shorter staple length, probably our top 5. We got to give her a little bit more extension in terms of growth of that mohair on that body, but certainly one in terms of fineness, in terms of stoutness, in terms of femininity. To me, I like her as she travels, and I like her in terms of her fleece quality relative to we'd like to give her just a bit longer staple length. A really soft handling goat in third. Again, this is the really athletic and stout made one. She really travels extremely well. Maybe not quite as dense in terms of her fleece, what we see in 1 and 2. I do kind of think, you could probably switch 2 and 3 here. She's just a bit better in terms of her staple length. To me, she just doesn't have quite the density. To me, again, very fine and soft to the handle. So you kind of could go either way with them. I chose the one that's just a little bit better in terms of overall fineness and uniformity in the second place. So a really nice goat in third. This is the one, again, you talk about this goat in third. Built right, good, stout, maybe not quite as big a frame as what we see in the top 3, but certainly one that's extremely fine, exceptional in her staple length. Again, she's one that maybe not quite as dense in her overall fleece as what we see in the ones ahead of her, but she's very similar to our third place goat. Then we wrap out the top 5 with the biggest frame goat in the class. For me, the one that maybe not quite as nice in her overall design, but certainly one that's got some good qualities. I don't think she's quite as uniform and high quality from front to back relative to her fleece on her body, but certainly one that's got a lot of mohair on that skeleton, and she's going to produce a lot of high quality when she shears off, and some babies as well. But certainly to me, it's just not quite as designed as nicely as what we see in the top end of the class. Really competitive class, outstanding class winner. Congratulations.
Every detail matters when preparing your livestock for the show ring. At Producers Co-op, we offer high-quality show feed, supplements, and supplies designed for your animal's best performance. Our specialized feeds promote optimal growth, conditioning, and muscle development for cattle, sheep, goats, pigs, and more. With expert advice and reliable products, we're dedicated to your success. Trust us to help you reach your goals with the feed that works as hard as you do. Come see why at Producers Co-op, it's better here.
Bridget Wilde, Burnett County 4-H member, and our class winner once again coming to us from Sutton County 4-H, Kelby Blessing. We'll give them a second to swap them out. We'll get our first place from each of our divisions back up, and we'll select our overall champion, Angora doe. This is the division. We do have a scholarship available. We will be awarding a youngster with a scholarship. As we bring them back in the ring, we'd like to reintroduce to you your class winner out of the Doe Kid division. That was Ryland Ward, Riel County 4-H member. Coming to us in the yearling class was Kelby Blessing. She's a Sutton County 4-H member. And then from the age class, our class winner also Kelby Blessing, a Sutton County 4-H. We bring our second place individuals in from the kid class, Ryland Ward, Riel County 4-H member. Our yearling class is Brenna Wilde, Burnett County 4-H. And our age class goes to Bridget Wilde, also Burnett County 4-H. We've got them in place. We'd like to take just a second. We're going to turn the microphone over to some of the officials here with the San Antonio Livestock Show. They'd like to give you a few words before we hand out a scholarship. Each child is eligible for the scholarship, so the champion will receive the money.
All right, good morning, folks. My name is Ryan Coble, chairman of Livestock out here. I want to take a moment to congratulate the exhibitors for their achievements this far, and good luck moving forward in this drive. I want to thank all you parents, ag teachers, agents for spending the time with these kids, raising them, putting the knowledge to keep this going for future generations. They're the next ones. Whenever we're older in bed, they're going to be the ones we're relying on. So keep up the good work, investing in these youth today. To date, the San Antonio Stock Show and Rodeo has an educational commitment of over $279 million. Right now, I hear every one of these kids are eligible for a scholarship, so we're going to join another one of these to the scholarship family and give one of y'all a $10,000 scholarship. So good luck to y'all. We'll turn this over to the judge and get this selected.
Thank you, Ryan. At this time, we're going to turn the ring back to Mr. Eric Zimmerman. He's done a good job working with our youth today. He's going to select our champion female.
Nice set of goats out here. Let's congratulate these six young ladies for working their way into the individual holes in the champion. In first and second, certainly a set of, in my opinion, high-quality goats. I like doing these. You know, there's not a lot of us that get to evaluate the Angora goats, but certainly I knew going in that we were going to see a bunch of good ones, and we saw a lot of good ones. I tell you, it was like literally splitting hairs when you talk about the quality and making decisions here. On behalf of myself and my family, I appreciate the opportunity. One, also, let's give our scholarship and our leadership with San Antonio Livestock Exposition a round of applause as well, because they do an outstanding job of generating funds for the scholarship. I know because my kids were benefits of having a $10,000 scholarship here, and it helps immensely putting them through A&M, and so I appreciate that. Really high quality set of goats here. You know, when you talk about the champion, and it's a big deal. It makes a big difference when you're talking about not only just the champion and the banner, but again, making that decision on who's going to have that opportunity to win that $10,000 scholarship. And it takes, you have to really evaluate and really pick them apart. And I think when you talk about the goats in this individual champion drive, the one that elevates their game is just so much better, traveling, athletically, built right, got a great set of Angora characteristics. She's feminine. She's good in terms of her rib. And then she's so good in terms of her fleece. Extremely dense, extremely long flank or long stapled, really firm, fine and uniform. For me, I think she really elevates her game. And that's not to say that our reserve champion is not just as good. She's good in terms of all those aspects. Maybe doesn't have quite the athleticism, maybe not quite as cool when she travels in terms of her structural correctness, but certainly that's getting really, really picky here. An outstanding set. Congratulations to all of our exhibitors, and we'll go shake your champion's hand. Good job. Let's give them a round of applause.
Coming to us out of the kid class, Rylan Ward, Rial County 4-H member. We'll move that second place kid back over, and we'll have the selection of our reserve. Reserve will go all the way down to the age division, and that's Kelby Blessing, Sutton County 4-H member. Once again, congratulations to all the youngsters in the ring. We appreciate them. We appreciate the show for awarding this young lady with a $10,000 scholarship.